guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be going over my previous best times that I've achieved with this car in the 0 to 60 1/8 mile and 1/4 mile, and what I'm actually planning to do is tonight heading out and trying to beat those times, because at the moment here in Queensland, Australia, temperatures are starting to drop, getting those colder nights. So I'm going to be heading out with the dragy and seeing if I can get a new personal best in a couple of different runs. So first off, let's talk about what I've done with the car previously. So when I got the gearbox built and bought the dragy, I went out and I got my best times were 3.48 0 to 60, which I was absolutely stoked with. The 1/8 mile, I did a 7.46 at 96.18 miles an hour, and the 1/4 mile, which I was completely wrapped with, was an 11.58. My original goal for the car was to try and get it to be in the 11s. 11.7s was my first goal. Then after the gearbox getting built and then the turbo dying on me and getting a new one, I sort of decided, hey, I should go for 11.6, and yeah, managed to do that. So that was with the old 4500 RPM spark cut launch control from AK Racing. When I got the new turbo, I got the itch to turn up the RPM for the launch control. So I had Alan at AK Racing do that for me. I then went back out, and with the extra 1000 RPM and a little bit more boost from the launch, I was able to get new personal bests, which completely smashed the previous ones. So 0 to 60 I did in 3.26 seconds. I did an 1/8 mile in 7.33 seconds at 95 miles an hour, and then the 1/4 mile I did an 11.53 at 116. So the 116 miles an hour for the 11.53 was actually a lower top end speed, I think, because I had the car a full tank of fuel. I think I did actually take some stuff out of the interior, but full tank of fuel probably made the difference. So since then, nothing has changed, and tonight I'm going to head out. Nothing has changed, I should say, power wise. What I have got is a new set of wheels. So these are actually a 10.5 inch wide wheel. Before I had 9.5 inch wheels, but these are actually just a touch lighter because they are AME wheels compared to my old raised gram lights, which are a little bit heavier. They were like just a bit over 10 kilos. These are around 10 kilos flat. So same tires, but just a slightly wider wheel, which is a touch lighter. Otherwise, the car is unchanged. It's just the difference in going from 21°C weather to hopefully 15 or so tonight when I head out. So yeah, just before I stop filming and head out tonight, I'll show you guys just a rough setup of the car. So I am going to be running it with full interior. Don't mind the microfibers and the spray bottle over there, they'll be coming out, but otherwise full interior, including back seats, just without the headrests because I don't run those, just for visibility purposes. But yeah, full interior. The engine bay. The only thing I'm running differently is I've just taken the tools and everything out of the boot, just because I thought, pop that, don't need that extra weight in there. So I've just taken, yeah, the tools. Otherwise everything else is as is. I do have the lightweight lithium battery, which definitely helps with the car making it a little bit lighter. Oh, actually, I should say the other thing I did change since I did that last run is I went to a dual exit exhaust, which is a touch heavier as well. So the car's probably heavier than what it was when I did the last run. Slightly lighter wheels, but slightly heavier exhaust. So let's close that. Go into the engine bay, show you guys what's going on there. If you've watched the videos before, you probably know all about the setup, but if not, anyone new watching for the first time, I'm trying to sort of show what you can achieve with the Evo 10 platform. So the car is making 394 wheel horsepower. I'll throw up a shot of it on the dyno now so you can see that. So it's actually not been changed since then. Only thing I've changed in the engine bay is the catch cam, which isn't going to make a difference for power. But yeah, 394 wheel horsepower on the AK Racing dyno. A lot of people question me why it was so low. If you are questioning that, Just know that Australian dynos typically read lower than other places in the world. But what I'll achieve is showing that that power number doesn't matter so much if I get a good time tonight. Already on the dragy leaderboard, the car's doing quite well, and on the Mitsu times leaderboard, the car's doing quite well. But yeah, so the car has 4 bolt-ons with an upgraded Intense 5656 RS turbo. We've got the Hypertune manifold, upper intercooler piping, AMS front mount intercooler, ETS intake, FIC 1200cc injectors, Walbro 460 fuel pump. It's running on E85, factory ECU, stock unopened engine, so stock cams, everything, never been opened, nothing done on the internals, just the bolt-ons. So making good power for Australia anyway, making really good times for that power and for the bolt-ons. It has a rebuilt SST transmission, like I said, from AK Racing here in Australia, with a 10-plate AK clutch, and obviously is tuned by AK Racing. So that's, it's a pretty simple setup, just the full bolt-ons with the stock frame turbo upgrade, and the exhaust manifold. Obviously full turbo back exhaust with the Hyperflow downpipe AK Racing cat and the NVIDIA N1 dual exit exhaust. So yeah, that's the setup. That's what I've been running. That's what I've been able to achieve with it so far. So I'm hoping tonight I can head out with the dragy and get a better time in this cooler weather. So I'm not going to take cameras out filming with me. I'm filming on a private farm road owned by a family friend, which I'm lucky enough to be able to use temporarily. So I'm going to put the dragy onto the car. I'm going to put my phone up here on the windscreen, and I'll record the runs, and I may show you guys that footage. And yeah, I'll come back to you tomorrow. If it rains tonight, because it's kind of looking like it might, then I'll head out tomorrow night. But either way, I'll update you guys once I have a result. So yeah, let's cut to hopefully some good news tomorrow or the next day. All right guys, it is the next day. So yeah, like I said, I went out last night and managed to get the new personal best times in all 3, the 0 to 60, 8th mile and the quarter mile. So I'm absolutely stoked with the car at the moment. It did so well. So I did 2 runs. What I will say is launching, even though it's an automatic, can be pretty tricky because you have to have it in manual mode, so you have to shift. And when you're launching at 5,500 RPM and you've got a turbo that just comes on really hard, really quick, it does like to really hit that limiter in first gear quite quickly. So the first run I did manage to beat my personal best time, but I hit the rev limiter in first gear before shifting, only just. So I'll put the clip up now of that run. So yeah, as you can see with that one, I managed to do an 11.50. Stoked with that. That was at 118 miles an hour. Now, keep that in mind, 118 miles an hour. That's not actually even the top speed that I've hit when doing a quarter mile previously. But yeah, that was with first gear limiter, and it was still quicker than my previous best. So that was a 3.37 0 to 60. So I'll put the screenshot of the dragy slip up on the screen. So yeah, that actually was a really good time, but hitting that limiter slowed me down in the 8th mile, so it's a 7.37 at 96 miles an hour, and yeah, the 0 to 60 was 3.37. So the 60 foot for that was 179, which is not my best. I did a 1.75 when I did the 11.53 quarter mile time previously, so I knew it had a better run in it. I was really disappointed that I hit that limiter, so I did a second run. So that's what I'm stoked with. So I'll throw a clip up now of that second run. Okay, so as you can see for the second one, new personal best, smashed my previous of 11.53 and did an 11.43. So I'm stoked with that. It took off crazy. I was so close to hitting the limiter in first gear. I've got the digital dash, if you guys have seen, and I've got it set up to start flashing red at me when it's at, I think, 5,800 RPM, just because when you are launching, it goes from 5,800 to 7,500 so quick. So you, basically when I see it start flashing, I'm already reaching for the paddle. I'm already trying to hit the next gear, for first to second anyway. So it was flashing, and it actually has a little mode in that dash which is just built in. When it hits limiter, it actually says like danger to manifold, warning danger to manifold, like Fast and Furious style on the screen. It actually was just hitting that as I hit the gear, and it perfectly shifted in red line. It was so close to hitting limiter again. So luckily with that, yeah, we got the best of 7.26. Sorry, 7.26 at 96 miles an hour for the eighth mile. It was a 0 to 60 in 3.23, which is my best time. That's actually really competitive on the dragy leaderboard, which I'll throw a screenshot up of that as well, where the car is now sitting for the dragy for 2008 up Mitsubishis. And then in the quarter mile, like you saw, 11.43 at 116.89 miles an hour. So that is actually really good. Like, I'm stoked with that. But as you can see, that's not the very, very top of what the car could do. It definitely has better in it, because I hit 118 miles an hour in the previous one. So an extra 2 miles an hour, but you can see that it is capable of something a little bit better. So I'm just trying to quickly find the Mitsu Times leaderboard, because I did previously submit my time on there. So I'm now coming 11th on that for SSTs, which I'm stoked with. So 11th overall on the SST leaderboard. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be getting any higher than that for a while. So I was coming, I think, 15th. So it moved me up 2 spots, or maybe moved me up 1 spot. But either way, there's a lot of different quick SSTs out in the world. But I think for 394 wheel horsepower, I'm stoked. So yeah, you might ask, why am I not doing this at a drag strip? Why am I using a private road? Mainly because my car's actually been having some problems with an ABS error. I do need to get ABS or whatever it is causing that issue fixed. AK Racing's quoted me to fix it. I just haven't been able to do that yet. I've got a few other things that I'm sorting out in personal life rather than car. So, you know, house stuff and business stuff that my money's going to at the moment. The car wasn't the biggest, most important thing. So that will get sorted later. But every now and then ABS light pops on and it stops me from being able to launch. I can't use launch control. The car will just rev all the way out. It won't actually hit that 5,500. So I don't want to spend the money, go out to the drag strip only to get there, and then that's a night where that error pops up and I can't actually launch the car. Previously, when I've done a run without using launch control, I did a 12 flat. So it would be a waste of time and money to go there, line up, only to have that pop up. So until that goes away and is fixed, I'm not going to spend the money and a night of driving out the hour or so to the drag strip, lining up for a couple of hours, getting a run in. But we all know that the dragy reads pretty similar, if not just a touch slower than a drag strip printout. It's a better prep surface, so the car will actually go even quicker. So I think, also if I wanted to strip some interior out of the car, I think it could, you know, I mean, clearly it could have an 11.3 something, I think, in it, but that's about the limit of this current setup. 394 wheel horsepower, so I'm under 400 wheel horsepower. It's running 11.43, 0 to 60 in 3.23 seconds. That's a pretty incredible result. It goes to show what this platform is really capable of. So yeah, I'm absolutely stoked with the results. So yeah, I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Let me know what best times you've got. And also I should mention, I'm actually going to be doing a little competition on the channel. So I just jump back into my dragy. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up a 20 to 70 mile an hour challenge for you guys. So previous best I've done is a 3.18. So I'll throw that up on the screen for you guys. But yeah, 3.18. So if you set your dragy to custom mode and put it as 20 to 70 miles an hour, I'm going to be putting up on my Facebook page a little link, and every time someone submits a time to me, I'm going to add their time onto there. So yeah, starting off with mine, 3.18 seconds, 20 to 70, only on valid dragy slips. It has to not be downhill. Let's see who can get the fastest time. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, definitely, if you have a dragy, go for it. If you want to pick one up, then yeah, I highly recommend it because they're cheap and they're a lot of fun. But yeah, so I will end it there. Make sure you Follow my Facebook page if you want to submit the dragy slips. I'll put a link to that in the description, and also post stuff there occasionally as well, so worth checking out. But yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are having as much fun with your Evo 10s and Rally Arts and any other cars as I am. But yeah, I'll end it there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.